Hi guys, welcome to one of the most critical frameworks that we use. This is almost like a gym, for dreamers, and we call this the challenge sheet. And what it allows you to do, it allows you to, growth is really like a journey, and it allows you to stand at the top of the mountain and look back at where you are. And it allows you to have a perspective of things versus being at the bottom of the mountain looking up at where you want to go. And then the second thing that this tool is there is, sometimes growth can be challenging and overwhelming. And this tool we've seen helps entrepreneurs and dreamers enjoy the journey a lot more because there's clarity about where they're going and where you need to focus on next. Here is an optional reflection question, which is on a scale of 1 to 10, how much am I enjoying the journey? And why did you say that? If you're on your own, reflect on this individually, maybe write a few things down. Always good to put pen and paper. And if you are with a team or a community, then share this with each other. And then a good question to ask is, what patterns and surprises did I notice both with myself and with other people? Always a good thing to sort of check in, right? It's not just about the external journey, it's also about the internal journey. So that's sort of a quick overview about why we have a challenge sheet. Then the next one is what. So if you really look at it, there are really three big buckets in business. One is, creating demand, which is marketing and sales, fulfilling the demand, which is a delivery process and people. And then there's the future, which is innovation, investment, stuff like that. So broadly, irrespective of whether you're running a social enterprise, a business, a startup, an NGO, whatever, you'll have these buckets. Some will be more important than others in different seasons. So what it allows you to do is to kind of map out which are the key areas I need to focus on. And the second is, it allows you to think in versions, which is version 1, version 2, version 1 offer, version 2 offer, version 3 offer. And rather than in pass and fail, right? Nothing will ever work completely the first few times we try it. And by thinking in versions, we can grow more of what works. And it allows us to compound, all that effort, all that learning, all that insight. As the saying goes, I think Einstein has said this, I'm not sure. Einstein seems to have said many interesting things, or not, let's see. But on compounding, he basically says it's the most powerful force on the planet, right? And in your scale-up program, if we spend time together there, we'll be looking at the whole power of exponentials when it comes to scaling up. But for now, all you just need to keep in mind is that the most powerful force on earth is compounding. And so when you're focused and the speed of your iterations are there, you're really compounding quickly. So this is the tool we use. It's called the strategic tree. At a high level, there are 3 stages to a business: startup, grow up, scale up. You're in startup if you haven't found a way to get repeated customers, at least one way. And you're in grow up if you can't take about 2 weeks off and the business should not crash. So that's when you become a business owner. And then you're in scale up when you have a vision for 10 times growth and a relatively clear path of how you'll get there. Right? So which stage are you in? Just fill that in. Just draw a simple tree. And then your areas, right? In creating demand, in fulfilling demand, and in the future, where, what are the areas, and number them. Like, what is the most pressing problem? You see, a business is like a system. And if you imagine a bottle, the bottleneck decides the output. So you'll usually have a problem either in creating demand, which is sales and marketing, or in fulfilling demand. But it's very hard to have both. Does that make sense? Right? So what are those areas, right? Do you have sales, marketing, people, process, investment, and innovation? And then you break it down to barriers. We won't do that now, but this is the tree that you need to be drawing. And this allows you to get a zoom out, zoom in view of what's happening. A little bit like Google Maps. So how do we use this is that those barriers we had talked about, right? Although you're not using it now, this is just a framework where you'll turn the barrier into a question. See, if I say I want to go to Goa, but I don't have money, it sounds like the end, right? A barrier sounds like the end, but a question is actually a new beginning, right? We say, how could I get money? Who do I know that's over there? Who would want to pay for me to go there? How can I swap with somebody who is there, right? Who else has gone there before, and what can I learn from them? Right? So these questions allow you to change your perspectives and start getting curious and exploring. A key thing to remember is progress is a new barrier, not no barriers. I still remember chatting with an entrepreneur, and she was saying that, it feels like I'm banging my head against the wall. And I said, yes, but it's a new wall, right? So this is really, entrepreneurship really in some sense is like a gym for dreamers, right? You have to build those muscles and get better. Okay, so let's talk about working backwards. Now you finished your tree. Let's say you've picked sales. So you write down the area sales, and the measure would be, let's say, a number of customer meetings. And you set a goal for the month, right? A milestone for the month. You say, I want to meet 8 customers, right? So week number 4, which is the end of the month, right? By the end of it, I should have finished 8 customers. So therefore 6 by week 3, 4 by week 2, and 2 by next week. Now you take that 2 by next week and you zoom in and say, okay, what are the barriers my team faces? So me and my team faces. It could be that, only I'm able to sell. It could be that, customers take 2 weeks to give an appointment. And then what are the barriers on the customer side, right? Like they don't know about us. We are just a startup, whatever, right? So you list down those 2 or 3 barriers and you pick the topmost one that seems challenging. So this is the working backwards. Then what you do is you take that barrier, right? And let's say the barrier is that customers don't know of us and we are a startup, right? So how might we establish credibility, right? Or how might we help our customers be comfortable with us? And you upgrade the questions. Where else have they worked with startups? Who else works with them and can give us an introduction? Why else would they want to work with us? And why is being new an advantage? What else could we do to reduce the risk? How else could we reach out to them? Maybe, and as you ask these questions, it forces you to take new perspectives and you get unstuck and you start listing some ideas. So one idea could be, well, they worked with this startup before. Maybe we can see what worked there. Or we know these people on LinkedIn who are connected to them. LinkedIn shows you common connections. Maybe we can go that way. Or why they would want to work with us is the fact that, our top talent will work on this project till it works, right? Versus just some mid-level guy in a larger firm. What else we could do is maybe we could provide some kind of guarantee, some kind of a risk reversal. How else could we reach them? Maybe we can go to a forum where the founder is speaking. Maybe we can do a demo, not just a presentation, right? So anyway, these are a bunch of ideas. And then you've explored ideas. Now you have to focus in, right? So you rate them on which of these things are most valuable and most simple for us to do. And let's say the topmost idea you've picked up is that you're going to reach out to a few mentors who know this firm and get a warm introduction. Let's say that's the top idea you've picked. Now what you do is you go in deeper and you take that idea and you say, okay, who is the client here? I need to get mentors. So what are the criteria? I've just put random examples here of a college student. But in our example, you may want to think about it as, okay, it is a mentor that's worked in the IT industry for over 20 years, that knows me well, right? And I list out a name like Mr. Nagbhushan. I have no idea where that name came from, but anyway. Then you write out the pitch. Okay, what is the problem that we're trying to solve? So we're trying to help the company with problem X, and how we'll do that is promise Y, and this is our process. Right? So when you articulate your pitch, it allows, in this case, the mentor to take that forward. And then you zoom into whatever's unclear, right? So maybe what's not clear is why would the mentor want to help you, right? And you maybe detail out a little bit of either you say, you'll give him a fee, or you offer for him to be a mentor on the project, whatever it is, right? So whatever it seems valuable but not clear yet when you look at these steps that you've written down, right? In terms of between the problem and the promise. You then zoom in and you work on that. And lastly, you write out your little bets. Okay, so what are the actions here, right? So I have to go on LinkedIn, shortlist people, send them an email. You're literally listing out the steps, and then you say who would do it. Okay, this would be done by my team. The first phone call will be done by me. and then I will be coordinating it. And then when will this be done? Tomorrow, next 3 days, and so on and so forth. Once you've done this, you've pretty much worked through this. Now, it's not unusual when you're doing this for the first time to maybe have a few questions. So please feel free to connect with your facilitator or send me a voice note. And then now you fill up the framework if that's relevant. If you're in the product labs, you'll have a challenge sheet relevant to that. If you're in the mastermind, you'll have a project sheet or you'll have a quarterly challenge sheet. Fill that up. And whatever's not clear, don't worry, no sweat, let it be, and we'll be there to help you. All right. I look forward to seeing the action that you've taken.